We are live from Cincinnati, tennis heaven. I'm here in tennis heaven at Harper's Point Racket Club. This is my favorite place to be the U.S. When we're talking tennis, okay? Because this club is legendary, and we've got the longest running tournament in U.S. history, which should stay here forever, Steve.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We love Cincy tennis. Novak loves Cincy tennis. He's been talking about how great all the fans have been treating him. And I've been going to the Western Southern Open. The tennis is better than ever. The top 50 players are more competitive than ever.
Right.
And we're going to talk about who looks ready, who is hungry enough, who is in form, who is ready to win the 2023 U.S. Open. Right here, I've got the legend, Steve Contardi. He knows a little bit about tennis. Yeah. In fact, at his club, it was All-Star Monday. We had J.J. Wolf coming in and hitting. We had Ons Jabeur come on and hit. Tsitsipas, Chris Eubanks, and Ben Shelton hit for like 10 hours straight together. It was amazing. J.J. Wolf, local hero J.J. Wolf was here.
Right. Yeah, he was here. And it was a fabulous day for tennis because not only did we had the entire mix, ran the gamut of what tennis is all about. We had some juniors playing, we had some Club 3-0 players playing, we had a girls' high school match going on, and we had the greatest players in the world all under the same roof. So it was a magic day for tennis. It really was.
It was a magic day. And then is it there? Yeah, over there. There's Guy, the French.
Yeah.
Suave.
Hello.
Brings us all over the world, and today you're gonna offer to bring us somewhere. Where are we going? Maybe where could people maybe go with you if they love this live stream and go, God, I want to hang out with these guys.
They might go to the south of France, actually.
Woo.
Yeah.
And Steve, who's actually going to be in here today?
Well, Guy, tell us our first stop in south of France, okay?
Well, in the south of France, we're going to spend a few days at the Mouratoglou Academy, Patrick Mouratoglou, which is the ex-coach of Serena Williams, and actually, I think he's the coach of Holger Rune.
Okay, well, he is actually going to be here today at Harper's Point shooting a tennis tip video. So I'm sure he knows that we're coming, and I'm sure he's excited that our group is going to be at his place, and he's going to get a chance to host us. So we'll try to get him to talk a little bit to us about what's going to go on at the Academy.
Yeah, you see that, guys? When you hang out with us, it's different. Like, you can go on your own. You can be like, well, I'm going to go on my own. I'll do it myself. I'll just go plan my own trip. You're not going to plan the same trip. You know, like I said, you heard everybody who's been hitting here this week. Now Patrick Mouratoglou is going to be shooting here. Guy's going to take us to Patrick Mouratoglou's Academy. We're going to be going all over the south of the French Riviera. I mean, you hang with the big dogs, you're going to see amazing things. So anyway, Steve, have you been out yet to the Western Southern Open?
I've been out 2 times. Yes, I've been out yesterday and the day before. And of course, the tennis is fabulous. The venue is fabulous. The players are all pumped. And it's just, like you said, it's tennis heaven. And it's just the greatest week of tennis in Cincinnati.
Now, who do you have your eye on? Do you have your eye on anybody so far?
Well, of course, my eye and my heart goes out to Ons Jabeur. She spent a good amount of time here starting last Friday. And she's just such a nice, warm person, and she does it pretty well on the tennis court too. So that's who I've got my eye on. On the men's side, you obviously Alcaraz and Djokovic. I happen to think that Djokovic is going to be looking for a little bit of revenge, and I think he's going to really rise to the occasion at the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Now, are you watching from way over there where you are? Where are you right now, Guy? I can't keep up with all your travels. Where are you right now? And are you watching any of our American tennis over here?
Well, unfortunately, with the time difference, I'm not watching a lot of it because I'm actually right now in Switzerland, in Stade, where I am coaching the season, all season. So it's very busy here, but I'm following from close Cincinnati. As you know, I study in Cincinnati, so I really love this tournament. but I wish I could watch a little bit more. But I'm watching beginning of afternoon session. I watched a little bit of Monfils yesterday, and but I'm following from close, even if I'm not watching.
Yeah, that's the exciting thing.
Yeah.
The old men once again are making a resurgence. I watched Stan Wawrinka, the entire crowd. He was playing an American, so it's kind of a little awkward. But you know, when you're a veteran, you earn that right for the love, and so the entire place was rocking for Stan the man, and he won.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had another big win yesterday. So Stan is looking great. Monfils is looking great. He took out the Demon yesterday. So he's in there. Novak, we know, is no spring chicken, and the Cincinnati crowd is giving him love. And anybody out there who's a Novak hater, I watched Novak finish a practice session. He walked around the entire court and gave everyone an autograph. And every single interview he's made, he talks about how he's getting love here in Cincinnati. And so if you give Novak love, he gives the love back. Speaking of giving love, I want to give some love to some of our famous people here that are on the live stream watching us. Bhaskar comes to Harper's Point, does the masterclass clinic, and it's amazing. Like he says, he's loving every minute of it. We're loving every minute with you, Bhaskar. We've been here hanging out at the club. We've been going to the Western Southern Open, having a great time. And then Gordon Tanner across the pond, he goes, all big dogs in the UK at Wimbledon today for GP Veterans Day. Sunny but windy, and he also thinks Alcaraz looked amazing in July. Did he win like a little tournament in July, Steve?
I think he did a little damage over there. Yes. I think he liked the grass.
His little tournament called Wimbledon. It's kind of important. Yeah, taking out Novak Djokovic. So here's a couple of thoughts before I get into some of my favorites. You know, I first of all want to apologize to the entire professional tennis tour because, you know, you can start to get cynical. You see Novak dominating, Federer dominating, and Rafa dominating. You start to kind of go, you know, what's wrong with everybody else? You know, the tour is terrible. These guys are losers. Like, that's easy to do. And then you go to the tournament, and I've never seen such a tight top 50. Like, when you're looking at their skills, their athleticism, their shot making, and their ability to not be afraid of the moment. You know, guys, you're seeing people, you know, 50 in the world playing somebody 10 in the world, and they get a break point. They're no longer choking. They're no longer going, I don't belong on the court with this player. No one's afraid of each other. That's why they're all able. They're not backing off at all. They're not just hoping somebody misses and gives them the match. And I'm talking men and women, doesn't matter. When they see a shot, they go for it. It's amazing. This is probably the best tennis I've ever seen in my life. What do you think about that, Steve?
It's pretty solid, and it's very deep. You're exactly right. It doesn't matter who you're watching. There's so much talent out there, and they're all going for it.
Yeah.
It's I think a real special time in tennis. A lot of up and comers, and like you said, everybody believes at this point.
If you believe, you can achieve. Speaking of believing and achieving, we had Tom here at our masterclass clinic this weekend. He loved it so much, he decided he wants to hang out with us more, so he's on the live stream. Good morning, Steve and Pete. Lydia and I had a great time with you this past weekend. So you see, guys, if you want to have a great time with us, what you want to do, and I'm going to put it here in a couple of minutes, I'll put it in the chat. What you want to do is you want to get on our interest list. So if you want to come to Cincinnati next year, we sold out already 7 spots for next year for the first weekend because people like it. Tom and Lydia are probably going to come back, right? And if you want to go to the south of France, if you want to train with me in Atlanta, if you want to train with us, then definitely fill out this form that I'm going to put in the chat. All right, let's get into the draw. Let me, so the draw is it here? No, she has like who's playing, but it's not necessarily the draw.
It's not the draw, but yeah, you got Hurkacz with Tsitsipas, Carlos Alcaraz playing Tommy Paul. That's all today.
Can we talk about? Let's just stop for a second. Tommy Paul. I think it's a match we should talk about. I don't know if you know this, Steve, but last week, our American boy, I think he's better than Taylor Fritz. I know Taylor Fritz is higher ranked. Tommy Paul took out Carlos Alcaraz in Toronto. Did you see it?
Yeah, I didn't see. I saw the result, but I didn't see the match.
Yeah, I watched that match, Steve.
They got a rematch today.
And they have a rematch today. And so what was interesting about that match, and if you watch, I watched Alcaraz live a couple of nights ago. I mean, he hits the absolute bejesus out of the ball. He's fast as lightning. He likes to come to the net. He loves to do it all. That's why he's so good. Tommy Paul was taking it to Alcaraz. He looked like he was hitting the ball harder. He looked like he was taking on more risk. He was coming to the net more. I mean, it wasn't just Alcaraz just having an off night. Tommy Paul brought it. Now, what do you think about rematches when you have two players like this, Steve, and they play within a couple of weeks? Who do you like in today's matchup? And come back into the camera.
Well, I think you have to go with probably Alcaraz. He obviously, number one, he's going to respect Tommy Paul, not to imply that he didn't before, but and he's going to respect and expect. He knows what to expect, and these guys are pretty proud. He's got a little revenge on his mind, I'm sure.
Absolutely. What do you think, Guy? Tommy Paul versus Alcaraz. Who wins today's match?
Well, I've heard a lot of good things about Tommy Paul. Heard he's getting really focused into his career. But I would say that Carlos Alcaraz is going to take it. He's getting into a shape, into the mood for the US Open. So I will go for the Carlos Alcaraz for sure.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, guys, I was a pretty good junior player. I wasn't great. That's why I'm not on the tour. But I did kind of feel like if I lost to somebody and I got to play him a couple weeks later, it's like I was excited. I'm like, I got to go, okay, I know all the mistakes I made the last match. That's not going to happen again, and I want to beat you so bad. So, and on the flip side, if I beat somebody and I felt like, oh, that was a really good win, I didn't want to play them anytime soon after that.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to have that over them, and I didn't want to give them another chance. So I think that we're all picking Alcaraz to win this match. So
I want to throw one thing out too. Now, remember now, in these tournaments, these 56 draws, once the tournament starts, they play every day. And if you're in Toronto and you've played the entire week, you come to Cincinnati, okay, you don't play until Tuesday, but then you're playing again every single day. So it's very physical because unlike the Grand Slams, they do not get the day in between matches. So which means physically, people can get a little bit worn out, or you don't necessarily have the time to recover. So you'll see some strange things happening sometimes because of that.
Well, yeah, that's what we saw with Yannick Sinner that won Toronto and lost second round, right?
Yes.
So, maybe the guy also is tired and he wants to take it easy before the US Open. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Beskar says Alcaraz will not take it easy today. He will get his revenge. We've got other great matches here. We've got Tsitsipas versus Hurkacz. I watched Hurkacz play yesterday on TV. He had a big win over the last year's winner, Court. And so I think that's Tsitsipas has got to be hungry to do something this year. I mean, I don't think he's a guy. Lots of people are saying, well, it's the Sissy Dova thing, or because he's going out with Badoza, and so they're kind of blaming it on that relationship why he's not performing so well. But I think he's a guy who continues to work hard. I think he's frustrated. He wants to stand out. We might have to move this, Steve, with that thing going off, or if you could get him to stop. But I'm going to go with Tsitsipas over Hurkacz today because I think that Tsitsipas wants to kind of do something this year. He's got to make a move somewhere, and I think yesterday I actually picked Hurkacz, but I'm changing my mind on that. I'm actually going to go with Tsitsipas. I have a feeling that he's going to do it today.
Well,
but Tsitsipas won.
Hurkacz's coach used to be one of our pros here, Craig Boyton. He's been working with him for a couple of years, and so he's got a lot of local people rooting for him. So that may help him along. But you're right. Tsitsipas was here for about 2.5 hours practicing the other day, and he worked pretty darn hard. So I don't think there's any lack of effort or any lack of gumption on his part. He really worked hard. I was very impressed with the practice session that he got in the other day here. And man, is he tall, Pete. He is really tall.
Yeah. There's lots of great matchups today. I mean, this tournament it's just jam-packed with great matches. today, Zverev versus Medvedev. Now,
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think people kind of Zverev's like slowly working his way back into form, very quietly under the radar. But don't forget, just before he went out, he had Rafa on the ropes on clay, and then Rafa, of course, went on to win the French Open. So I think he's getting his feel back. Medvedev. I said this. I did a live stream yesterday on Coffee Break Tennis, where we made a video on Coffee Break Tennis, which is the greatest tennis talk show in the world. You should go check it out. And I said that Medvedev, I bet if he could change one thing about the tour, he'd make it all hard court for the entire year. I think
That's the truth.
if you had the whole year on hard court, I wouldn't be surprised if every year he's 1 or 2 in the world. Right before the French Open, the clay court season, he was dominating every hard court tournament. And if he can get that form back, don't be surprised. This whole live stream today is about who's ready to win the U.S. Open. If he gets a lot of confidence here and momentum and feel for the tennis ball, don't be surprised to see Medvedev beat Zverev today, win this tournament, go on and win the U.S. Open. You heard it here first. What do you think about that?
Certainly, he's won the tournament here before, so it's not a far-fetched tale at all. I think it's certainly possible. Medvedev is dangerous. I'm sure no one wants to play him on a hard court.
Look at Linda saying, "Morning, Steve McGee. I love the discussion this morning. Can't wait to join South of France next spring.
Yes.
Maybe may the fun begin. A great tennis and legendary spot." Now I'm going to put in again the link, and I want Guy this live stream. Oh, I can't do it there. Let me bring it back. This live stream today is sponsored by Bonjour Tennis Fantasies, where we travel the world and have a great time. Guy, tell us about this trip that we're going to be going on. Let's take a moment. Let's take a little break and tell everything that you have planned for everybody as I put the link in if we go to South France.
Well, we are going 8 days in the south of France, so 7 nights. And the first, the south of France, there is a lot, I think, a lot to see, a lot to offer for tennis players and non-tennis players as well. What we will do is we will travel in a few different parts. We're going to stay at the Mouratoglou Academy for 4 nights. We will train 2 days at the academy. But we will go also in Cannes, which is 20 minutes away from the academy, to have dinners and take some private tours. We will also have a boat cruise to Saint-Tropez, this famous place that many of you have heard in the south. So we will take a cruise, which is around an hour and a half from Cannes. We will have lunch there, and we will have a tour in this beautiful town, which makes south of France very famous. And then we will also go play tennis in Nice, which is 30 minutes away from Cannes. We will play most probably in Antibes, which is also a very famous place in south of France. And we're going to spend also 3 nights in Monaco, where we will play at the Monte Carlo Country Club for 1 day. So we will play tennis in different spots in the south of France. We're going to see a lot of things. The non-tennis players are going to visit a lot of town, and we're going to organize a lot of different dinners in different beautiful little and big towns in the south. So it's a very exciting trip with a lot of tennis as usual, and we will have all our crowd traveling, all our staff traveling together as usual. So it's going to be from the 31st of May to June 7th.
Can you tell us
Next
about
year.
the hotel we'll be staying at in Monaco?
The hotel in Monaco is actually 5 minutes walking distance from Monte Carlo Country Club. So Monte Carlo Country Club is on top of the hill in Monaco. And when you go down the club, you walk down the club, you go to the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. So the hotel is facing basically the sea, and it's the only hotel in the Bay of Monaco with a private beach. So you will have a private beach as well, and everything is very close by, the casino, the restaurant. So you're going to have a good time. It's a very fun part of France. I'm not saying this because I'm French. I'm not from there, but it's every part of the south, every little towns in where we're going is stunning. So we're gonna travel from places to places, and we won't spend much time actually in Monaco. We'll sleep in Monaco, but we'll play in different places and have different private tour organized all around the city.
And all the tennis will be on red clay, correct?
All the tennis will be on red clay. At the academy, it's going to be a mix between hard and red clay because they have around 30 courts. The other programs is run on both clay and hard. So yeah, we will have half clay, half hard, and the other clubs we're playing at in Monte Carlo, in Nice, and other towns to be defined. It's going to be on clay. Yeah, red clay.
If you haven't been to the Monte Carlo Country Club, I know most of you have seen it on TV. It's probably the most beautiful tennis club in the world. It overlooks the sea, and you've got the red clay courts are staggered on different levels going up the hill. It's a magical place. It'll be very special to be there.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the Monte Carlo Country Club is you cannot play as an outside member. You need to be invited by a member, and it was really tough to get access for such a big group that we are bringing. We will have like a little tour of the club, and also we will have lunch on the terrace facing the sea and the courts, and play tennis in the afternoon there. Yeah.
So, guys, if you want to live like a tennis James Bond or Margot Robbie, then you want to click the link. I think you can see the link here on the chat, but it's actually in the comments section. Click on that link, sign up. I'll be giving you a call as soon as possible. We're doing a lot out here at the Masterclass Clinic. Well, I'll do my best to get in touch with you ASAP, or I'll have Steve or Guy get in touch with you as soon as possible. You don't want to delay on this because even though it's next year, we have a lot of our things selling out quickly. Like next year, we're going to South America. That's pretty much sold out. We have a couple spots, maybe 2 spots left. Already the Rafa Nadal Academy. We're interested in going to that. Do we have any spots left for that?
About 8 or 10 spots.
About 8 or 10 spots left for that. And people are most excited, it seems like, for the South of France trip. So we already have people who've gone to these trips, and they usually want first dibs. In fact, Scott and Sharon Levy, who did our Masterclass Clinic, they came in here, filled out that right away as soon as it became available. So don't delay. Fill out the form, and I'll be in touch with you soon. Okay, let's get back to the tournament. I want to talk about one more men's match because I want to talk about Novak Djokovic versus Monfils. That could be a great match today. They know each other's game very well. I think they're actually kind of friendly. I know they get a kick out of each other. 2 obviously veterans on the tour. What do you think about Novak versus Monfils? Does Monfils have a chance today against Novak? What do you think, Guy?
I think Monfils is the best athlete on tour, definitely. He could have been a top player if he would avoid a lot of injuries. I think he can definitely beat Djokovic. I will go for Djokovic. I think Monfils has had a big run at the Toronto tournament. I think he made it to the semis or the quarters. Almost got injured on the first round in Cincinnati. He was not feeling so great. So I don't know what he's gonna do, if he's gonna play full attack or Monfils is thinking maybe to recover a little bit for the US Open because I feel like he's in a great shape. He's playing great, but if he's, as Steve said, if he's making a big run in Cincinnati, he's a 36, 37. He's going to be pretty destroyed for the US Open. And he's coming from a big long run in Toronto. So I will go for Djokovic because I think Monfils has a good shot to make it far at the US Open. I would say I will not be surprised to see Monfils in the quarters. And I will not be surprised to see Zverev actually winning the US Open.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, what do you think about the matchup today? Does Monfils have a chance against the Joker?
Well, he certainly has a chance. We all know him to be an extremely talented player. And, if he can keep his mind into it, he certainly can get it done. And also understand in a 2 out of 3 set match, you're going to have more upsets than you would in a 3 out of 5 set match. So, given the format, 2 out of 3 sets, given the fact that this guy is extremely talented, there certainly is always a chance for an upset. Although your betting money's got to go on the guy that's most consistent, and that's Djokovic.
Yeah. I'm going to take a little bit different take than Guy did about trying to keep some stuff in the tank for the U.S. Open. Here's my thoughts. Number one, Monfils has been playing a lot on hard courts this summer. He's been playing well. He's been playing as early as the Atlanta tournament, which is basically your first shot to get on a hard court. And he's been winning a lot of matches. So he's in match form. He's match tough. Novak, on the other hand, has not really played since Wimbledon. And I even heard something that he hasn't really even picked up a racket very much since Wimbledon. And he didn't look very good last night against Fokina. Fokina ended up having to pull out because he got hurt. And Novak did not look sharp for Novak standards. So I think that somebody like Monfils has to look at this match and go, this might be my last opportunity. This is probably my best opportunity to beat Novak Djokovic before I retire. And so I think that Monfils is going to come out with heavy incentive to win today. He's going to put everything he has into the match, and Novak is still trying to work his way back into the competitive spirit in the tennis. And I think if Novak loses today, it's not really a big deal in his mind. I think he's thinking, well, I'm just trying to get some reps here. So I'm looking for an upset. I'd be surprised if Novak won this tournament because I just don't think he's played enough tennis leading into this tournament.
I think that's pretty good observation.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Okay.
So do you think anyway that Djokovic can win the US Open then?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what's weird about Novak is he seems like he does it at Wimbledon. He seems to it's like, man, I just need a couple of reps in a tournament before. It doesn't matter if I win or lose. He did the same thing on clay where, again, he just doesn't seem to need – he can lose some warm-up tournaments, but just as long as, like Dow would always say, I'm looking for the right feelings. You know, when those greats get the right feeling, everybody else has no chance. No chance. So I think that's all he's really searching for this week is just to get some reps, start feeling the ball, and then he's got another week or two of practice before the U.S. Open, and bam, he's ready for another title run. Okay, let's switch to the women. I want to talk about, I find this very interesting, and I think a brilliant move, and I'm surprised more tennis pros have not done this earlier. Coco Gauff won D.C., and who was her coach? You know who her new coach is? Anybody? Do you know?
No.
You guys don't know. Brad Gilbert. Brad Gilbert is back in the coaching saddle. And Brad Gilbert, you know, everything he touches in coaching is gold. The Andre Agassi, he changed Andre Agassi's career around. Andre Agassi didn't really play that smart tennis before Brad. Remember the book, Winning Ugly? He taught him how to win pretty, right? There's nothing ugly about Andre's game, but he turned Andre's career around. He did awesome with Andy Roddick. Andy Roddick fired him too fast. Andy Murray didn't even really give him a chance. I think that there's probably something about hanging out with Brad off the court that maybe he might just be annoying. I don't know why people don't give him. You might have some inside information on that. I don't know why most people don't give him a chance. He's been hired in like over probably a decade or more. So I think that that's a great move, and instance pretty good, and lost to her partner Jessica Pegula. I don't think I'm saying that right in Toronto. So what are your thoughts on Brad taking over for Coco?
Well, you know, Brad Gilbert has, like you said, he's a proven coach, and you know, he's had some great success. So I think that's probably a really good move on Coco's part. She had to hear some different voices, and you know, this guy knows how to win, because he did win ugly. He had no tools himself, and he made chicken salad out of chicken something else is what it amounted to. So he did that with his own game. My suspicion is that he probably is going to help Coco quite a bit, provided that he's given 100% chance to do that.
Right.
Because that's a pretty controlled situation, as I understand it.
Yeah. What do you think, Guy, about the Brad Gilbert move in Coco's box?
Well, I'm not very familiar with Brad Gilbert as you guys are, but I don't have a lot of knowledge. I mean, I know the name. I know that he coached Andre Agassi, but I had no idea that he didn't coach for 10 years. And I was not aware that he's the new coach of Coco Gauff. But yeah, let's see. I mean, the guy has a CV, has a curriculum, has a past. So we'll see.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Maida. First of all, one of the most positive campers I've ever run into.
Hi, Maida.
She was amazing at our masterclass clinic. She's already coming back next year. So thank you again for that sign up.
Take care of that arm, Maida.
And she hurt her arm a little bit, but she still went around with a smile. And I just want to give her a shout out. That's the thing about coming to our camps. You can see that people who come to one of our experiences, like we don't have many even people on the call today, but they're all showing up for this live stream because they're like, it was so fun hanging out with you. We just love hanging out with you guys. So Maida, you are great. She says, "Oh, thank you, gentlemen." Okay, so let's get into some other big hitters on the women's side. Watch Sabalenka win last night, 6-4 in the third. So she was challenged. Again, don't read too much into that. I'm telling you, anybody that you might not have heard of, no one has any flaws out here on the court, men or women's side. So just winning that match. Remember, this woman went from crying on the court because she was afraid to hit a second serve. You can look up the video. She literally cried and served underhand and got warnings for not trying. The umpire thought, well, you're not trying. She literally was having a nervous breakdown on the court. It wasn't that she was tanking. And then to go to a Grand Slam champion, think about that. So if you ever have doubts on your own game, get down on yourself, you can work your way out of anything if you really believe in yourself eventually. So winning that 3-set match is great. She's got a huge game. What do you think about her here and then also at the U.S. Open?
Well, she's a dangerous player. I'm going to say way back 7-8 years ago, John Newcomb picked her to be a superstar. And of course, he got teased a little bit because she didn't respond right away. But she certainly is in that category right now. I think she's a very dangerous player. I would not want her.
I definitely would want to play her.
We saw her in the final in Madrid this year together against Swiatek.
Yeah,
she beat it Swiatek. Remember that?
Yeah,
Sabalenka.
Yeah, I would say Sabalenka's got to be her and Swiatek. Again, I talk about Coco. I would love to see her win. I think she's got a puncher's chance, but it seems like Sabalenka and Swiatek, especially when they're on their game, it's just another level. Like I've seen Coco be totally outclassed by both of them. So I think they're by far the two favorites. And one thing about Iga especially, she kind of reminds me of Graf a little bit in that, when she's on, she's off the court in like 45 minutes. It kind of reminds me of those old days of Graf and Martina and Celis where you're just like, how fast are they going to win today? Iga has that ability to just absolutely go out there and destroy you and be off the court within an hour. So I look for those two ladies to be in the finals at the U.S. Open this year. So that's my pick for the women's side. I'm looking for Iga versus Sabalenka. Coco maybe got a puncher's chance. Jessica has a puncher's chance. She's always consistent, but seems to always kind of fall off. Maybe her game's not big enough to get to that final. She's always there quarters, semis. So that's my pick on the women's side. Who are you guys picking to be in the U.S. Open final this year?
Men or women?
Men. Well, women first, then men. Let's do women all around the horn, and then we'll go to the men.
I think I'm probably going to agree with you on the women. I'll agree with you on the women, Sabalenka and Swiatek. With the men, I think we've got to go a repeat of Wimbledon, Alcaraz and Djokovic.
Yeah. What do you think, Guy?
I would say Swiatek in the final. It depends the draw as well, and Jabber in U.S. Open.
Okay.
And the men, I will say Zverev against Alcaraz.
Now, I last in the spring, I gave Guy a hard time. I kind of made fun of him for picking Casper Ruud, and it seemed like a good idea for me to make fun of him because he hasn't done anything before that. He hasn't done anything since. He lost first round here, but somehow at the French Open he showed up and got all the way to the final. So I'm not gonna challenge your wisdom. You seem to be pretty good at that. So Zverev could be a great pick. So again, I already picked my women's final. I'm going to pick Iga to win. And on the men's side, I have 3 picks. I've got Djokovic. I think will find his form. I've got Alcaraz, of course, and Medvedev. And any one of those guys could win. If you absolutely have to put money on it, you can't bet against Djokovic or Alcaraz. They've just been the 2 standouts this year. Djokovic won the Australian Open. He won the French Open. he lost 6-4 in the 5th set at Wimbledon. You know, just because you lose a match doesn't mean like there's something wrong with you. 6-4 in the 5th. He made, you know, him serve it out to finish the match, which a lot of people wouldn't have been able to do. And then Alcaraz winning Wimbledon, and then also having a lot of good showings in some of the other tournaments. And he's kind of got the fear factor going. I think people are a little afraid of Alcaraz.
Yes, they are.
So, you know, he might be one of the few, one of the few players who actually can still get some free points out there, just because people are afraid to step up and challenge him. Anjabor and Carlos, my pick, says Bashkar. More picks from you guys. So go ahead, Guy.
I think the Medvedev Zverev today will be interesting in Cincinnati to test a little bit Medvedev form. As you said, he's playing out of his mind on hard court. He barely lose a match on hard court before clay season. And Zverev, as you mentioned at the beginning of the talk, if you see his result, I mean, the guy is cruising and he's doing very well. Destroyed Dimitrov 6-2, 6-2. He was playing so well, Dimitrov as well, the last few weeks. As you said, he almost beat Rafa the day that he got injured at the French Open. He made already a final at the US Open against Thiem. He has the experience. He's coming back. He's coming back since an injury. So I really believe that this guy could be a nice surprise. Let's see how he's doing against Medvedev today.
Awesome.
That's what I wanted.
Well, guys, it was fun hanging out with you this morning. If you want to hang out with us in person, I'm putting the link in one more time. You fill out that interest form, and if you want to train with us at the South of France, and we talked about already in this live stream, make sure you fill out the form. I'll be in touch with you. If you want to go to Rafa's Academy, there's still some spots there. If you want to go to South America, there's still some spots there. If you want to come out here to what I consider tennis heaven, which is Harper's Point here in Mason, Ohio, you want to come out here and definitely be part of our masterclass clinic and go see the best players in the world at the best tournament in the United States.
Close, real close.
Yeah, real close. Why I say this is the best tournament is this is what he said. If you've ever come to this tournament, you don't question what I just said. You have the best players in the world on the men's and women's side. It's a Masters 1000. They want to be in shape for the U.S. Open, and the viewing is second to none. Plus, if it rains, they all come here to Harper's Point Racket Club. So you're not going to get an experience like this anywhere else. It's even better in my mind, and more important than Indian Wells. They call Indian Wells the 5th major, but then they go play on clay for like 4 months. So I don't think it's as important as this tournament. And you go to the U.S. Open, obviously a more important tournament, but you might as well stay at home and watch it on TV unless you're willing to pay $1 million to get a good seat. So come here next year. And any parting words from anybody else?
Just look, we appreciate your passion and enthusiasm for the sport that we all love. You know, it certainly is the best game in the world for all the reasons that we're talking about. Playing, spectating. You know, just keep up. And as I always say when I check off, play a few sets today.
I like that, Guy.
Well, yeah, I cannot say anything better than Steve. And keep playing, enjoying tennis, and trust me, the Cincinnati Master is a wonderful tournament. I've been there a couple of times, and let's see if we can meet either in Europe or in the US as well.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Fun hanging out.
Bye. Bye.